Welcome to Monk's Temple. In a world that never stops talking, where the heart hardly gets a moment to rest, it's easy to forget the simplest truth: peace isn't something you find out there. It's something you build in here. And the more you hold on to what hurts, the farther you drift from that peace. So today, give yourself permission to pause, to breathe, to look at your life with a little more honesty and a little less pressure. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to force anything. You only need to listen to what your heart has been trying to tell you. In this space, we're going to slow down together. We're going to walk through 10 gentle Buddhist-inspired habits that can help you love yourself again, release the weight you were never meant to carry, and return to a life that feels lighter, clearer, and deeply calm. Let's begin with the first practice: gentle awareness. Most people spend their lives running. Not because they're weak, but because they were never taught how to sit with their own feelings. We run from emotions that feel too heavy, from memories that ache, from mistakes we don't want to face, even from the simple discomfort of being alone with our thoughts. The mind becomes a noisy room, and instead of trying to understand it, we try to escape it. But here's a truth that can change everything: you don't heal by running away from yourself. You heal by turning inward with gentle awareness. Gentle awareness is the act of sitting with yourself the way you'd sit with a hurting friend, patient, compassionate, and without judgment. You close your eyes, breathe slowly, and allow thoughts to come and go without pushing them away or holding on. And something beautiful happens. You begin to see that your thoughts aren't permanent. They rise and fall like waves. Emotions, no matter how intense, soften when you stop fighting them. Even the thoughts that scare you lose their power when you face them with softness instead of fear. I want to share a story about a woman named Clara. Clara was a teacher who carried years of quiet anxiety. She believed her mind was her enemy, a constant critic. One day, during a particularly overwhelming week, she sat by her window and simply watched her thoughts. She didn't judge them, didn't follow them, just observed. For the first time, she realized her anxiety wasn't a command. It was just a thought. That gentle awareness became her anchor. It didn't erase her worries, but it gave her space around them. She learned that her mind wasn't trying to punish her, it was trying, in its clumsy way, to protect her. Loving yourself begins the moment you allow yourself to exist exactly as you are. You don't force positivity. You don't rush emotions. You sit with your feelings gently, like soothing a crying child, with patience, understanding, and reassurance. Awareness without judgment is one of the greatest acts of self-love. It teaches you that you're allowed to have messy thoughts, confusing emotions, and imperfect days. Healing isn't about controlling the mind, it's about understanding it. When you stop beating yourself up for how you feel, you create emotional space. That space becomes peace. That peace becomes clarity. And that clarity becomes the foundation of your healing. Awareness isn't weakness, it's courage. Sitting with yourself quietly and honestly is one of the strongest things you will ever do. Moving to our second approach: what causes pain? One of the deepest truths in Buddhist teaching is this: pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Suffering begins the moment you cling to something life is trying to move you away from. Most inner pain doesn't come from what happened, but from our refusal to let go of what happened. You don't suffer because someone walked away. You suffer because you're still holding on to how things should have been. You don't suffer because life changed. You suffer because part of you can't accept that things are no longer as they were. Attachment makes us hold memories as if they're the present, hold people as if they can't change, hold expectations as if life owes us certainty. But nothing in this world is permanent, not relationships, not emotions, not situations, not even the person you were yesterday. Consider the story of Michael, who held on to a business failure for nearly a decade. He replayed every misstep, every "if only," as if clutching the past could change it. His attachment to that old story kept him from seeing new opportunities. It wasn't until he visited a quiet garden and watched leaves fall from a tree that it hit him: holding on was like trying to reattach dead leaves to branches. He took a deep breath and mentally let the old failure fall away. In the months that followed, space opened for new ideas, new collaborations, and a renewed sense of possibility. Releasing attachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean becoming cold or distant. It means learning to love without chaining people to your expectations. It means experiencing life without trying to control every outcome. It means allowing things to flow instead of forcing them to stay. Letting go becomes easier when you understand. You cannot lose what is truly meant for you. And what isn't meant for you cannot be held, even with both hands. When you detach gently, you make space for new blessings. You create emotional freedom. You stop replaying old stories that bring pain. You stop arguing with reality. You stop trying to return to a version of life that no longer exists. This also means releasing attachment to old versions of yourself, the mistakes, the regrets, the moments you wish you could rewrite. These attachments create shame and self-criticism that can last years. When you begin to detach from the past, you realize you don't have to punish yourself forever for things you did when you didn't know better. Growth requires forgiveness. You cannot become your future self if you're holding on to your past self. The moment you release attachment, something incredible happens. You stop suffering over things you cannot change. Your heart opens again. Your mind clears. Your spirit calms. Life begins to flow without tension or resistance. Now let's explore the third habit, speaking to yourself with loving kindness, metta. Most of us grow up learning how to care for others, how to comfort friends, support family, be gentle with someone who's hurting. But almost no one teaches us how to treat ourselves with that same tenderness. We live in a world where kindness to others is praised, but kindness to ourselves is often seen as weakness or selfishness. Yet true peace begins when you turn inward and offer yourself the warmth, compassion, and understanding you've always given to others. This is the practice of metta, loving kindness, and it's one of the purest forms of self-care. Loving kindness means recognizing that you, too, are human. You get tired. You make mistakes. You deserve patience. But many of us speak to ourselves with harsh words we'd never say to anyone else. We criticize ourselves for feeling emotional. We judge ourselves for not being perfect. We call ourselves names in moments of insecurity. This internal cruelty becomes a habit, silently eroding confidence, happiness, and inner peace. Imagine a friend comes to you crying. You wouldn't say, "You're useless. Why are you like this? You should be stronger." You'd comfort them, listen, reassure them, remind them they're doing their best. Metta asks you to do the same for yourself. Instead of thinking, "I'm such a failure," you say, "I'm learning, and that's okay." Instead of, "I should be over this," you say, "Healing takes time." Instead of, "Nobody loves me," you say, "I deserve love, including my own." These small shifts create a profound change inside your mind, a move from self-attack to self-support. I remember a man named David, a carpenter who carried a lifetime of self-doubt. After a project didn't go as planned, his inner critic was relentless. One evening, exhausted, he tried something new. He spoke to himself aloud, with the same tone he'd use for his young son, "It's okay. You tried hard. We learn and we try again." Tears came, not from shame, but from relief. That was the beginning of a new relationship with himself. He started a simple ritual. Each morning, he'd place a hand over his heart and whisper, "You are enough." Over time, his shoulders loosened, his sleep deepened, and his work regained its joy. Your inner voice shapes your entire emotional world. If it's harsh, your life feels heavy. If it's calm and caring, your life softens. Changing how you speak to yourself is one of the most powerful ways to change how you feel. You don't need to earn your own kindness. You deserve it simply because you exist. When you practice loving kindness daily, your body relaxes. Your heart feels lighter. Your thoughts become gentler. You stop demanding perfection. You embrace your flaws as part of your humanity. You accept that you're allowed to rest, to cry, to slow down, to grow at your own pace. Self-love isn't about flattery or pretending everything's fine. It's about standing with yourself even when things are difficult. Over time, this habit changes how you experience life. You stop relying on others for validation because you learn to validate yourself. You stop breaking under criticism because you learn to comfort your own heart. You stop feeling unworthy because you deeply understand that you, like everyone else, were born deserving of love, patience, and care. Loving kindness becomes a shield around your spirit. It protects you from the cruelty of your own mind. It teaches you to stop being the person who hurts you the most. The fourth practice we'll walk through together, accepting what you cannot control. One of the greatest sources of human suffering is the constant fight against things we cannot change. We spend immense energy trying to control outcomes, people, situations, and even emotions that were never in our control to begin with. We want people to treat us a certain way. We want life to follow our plans. We want the world to behave according to our expectations. And when it doesn't, we feel frustrated, disappointed, or broken. Here's a transformative truth: peace begins when you stop forcing life to be something it isn't and start accepting it for what it is. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean being passive or weak. It means choosing not to fight unnecessary battles that drain your energy and break your spirit. It means recognizing that some things in life are simply beyond your control, no matter how much you try, care, or hold on. When you accept this, you stop torturing yourself with the illusion that you can fix everything, save everyone, or predict the future. You allow yourself to breathe again. Many people struggle because they argue with reality. They replay old conversations, wishing they'd acted differently. They cling to expectations that never came true. They try to change people who don't want to change. They fight to undo what cannot be undone. This creates emotional exhaustion, anxiety, and pain. Acceptance teaches you that instead of pushing against life, you can choose to flow with it. And in that flow, you find clarity and relief. Let me tell you about Sophia, a nurse who always needed everything planned and certain. When her elderly father's health declined unpredictably, her need for control turned into constant anxiety. One night, after another long day, she sat in her car and whispered, "I can't control this." It wasn't defeat, it was release. She began focusing only on what she could control: her presence, her compassion, her own well-being. The situation didn't magically improve, but her suffering lessened. She found moments of peace even in the difficulty. When you begin accepting what you cannot control, you reclaim your inner power. You redirect energy away from impossible battles and toward what you can change: your attitude, your actions, your thoughts, your responses, your inner growth. You stop worrying about how people see you and start focusing on how you see yourself. You stop trying to change the past and start creating a better present. You stop living in fear of the future and start grounding yourself in this moment, where real life is happening. Acceptance also means letting go of questions with no answers. Why did this happen? Why did they leave? Why wasn't it enough? These questions trap your mind in endless circles of pain. Acceptance gently whispers, you don't need every answer to move forward. You just need to trust that life isn't finished with you yet. In Buddhist teaching, acceptance is an act of compassion. Compassion for yourself, because you stop blaming yourself for things that were never your fault. Compassion for others, because you understand everyone is fighting their own battles. Compassion for life, because you recognize every ending, change, and challenge has a purpose you may not see yet. When you embrace acceptance, your heart becomes lighter. You stop forcing outcomes and allow blessings to arrive naturally. You stop clinging to old wounds and make space for new healing. You stop resisting change and begin to see it as a doorway to growth. Life becomes softer, more peaceful, and surprisingly kind when you stop fighting with it. Acceptance doesn't remove all difficulties, it removes the unnecessary suffering you create by trying to control the uncontrollable. This is how you free your heart, not by making life perfect, but by making peace with the fact that it never will be. And in that imperfection, you can find a deeper, stronger, more unshakable peace. For our fifth mindful tool, letting go through the breath. There are moments when your mind becomes so crowded, so overwhelmed, so heavy with thoughts that finding clarity feels impossible. Your mind holds memories from years ago, unresolved regrets, fears about the future, and pressure from every direction. The more you think, the more tangled everything becomes. That's because the mind's nature is to cling, replay, analyze, compare, predict, and worry. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, the mind simply refuses to let go. But there's something incredibly profound: the breath can release what the mind cannot. Your breath is the bridge between your mind and body, between past and present, between chaos and peace. When thoughts feel uncontrollable, your breath becomes the key to calmness. When your heart feels heavy, your breath becomes the soft hand guiding you back to balance. Most people underestimate breathing because it seems too simple, too ordinary. But your breath has been with you since you entered this world. It has carried you through every challenge, every emotion, every rise and fall. It's the one tool you always have, yet often forget to use consciously. When you breathe deeply, you signal to your nervous system that you are safe. Your heart rate slows. Muscle tension softens. The mind stops spiraling and starts settling. This isn't magic, it's biology. It's mindfulness. It's healing. Think about how you breathe when stressed: fast, shallow, tight. Your body follows your thoughts. If your mind is tense, your breath becomes tense. But the reverse is also true: if you change your breath, you change your mind. When you breathe slowly and deeply, you send a message to your mind: it's okay. We are safe. We can let go now. And your mind listens. Letting go through breath is a gentle process. You don't force anything. You simply sit or lie down, close your eyes, and breathe in deeply. With each inhale, imagine gathering strength, clarity, and peace. With each exhale, imagine releasing a small piece of the burden you've been carrying: a fear, a worry, a painful memory, a looping thought. Slowly, breath by breath, the heaviness begins to dissolve. This is how the body frees what the mind cannot. Sometimes you don't need answers. Sometimes you don't need advice. Sometimes you don't need the situation to change. You just need to breathe slowly, intentionally, deeply, until your mind returns to the present moment. Because that's where life actually happens, not in the past you keep replaying, not in the future you keep fearing. The breath brings you home to this moment, the only moment where healing is possible. Breath reminds you that you are not your thoughts. You are not your fears. You are not your stress. You are the awareness behind all of it. Calm, steady, unshakable. I recall a veteran named James, who carried invisible weights from his past. Anxiety felt like a constant hum in his chest. A counselor taught him a simple practice: breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. He practiced it daily, often in his backyard under an old oak tree. At first, it was just a mechanical exercise. But one day, during a long exhale, he felt a knot in his shoulders unravel, and a wave of quiet washed over him. It didn't solve his problems, but it gave him a tool, a portable sanctuary. He began to use his breath as an anchor whenever the world felt too loud. When you practice mindful breathing regularly, you notice your emotional reactions soften. Worries lose their grip. Your mind becomes clearer. You stop getting pulled into every thought and start observing them with distance and wisdom. Breathing also helps release stored emotional tension from the body. Many don't realize the body remembers what the mind tries to forget. Stress settles in the shoulders. Sadness sits in the chest. Anxiety tightens the stomach. Old emotional pain gets trapped in muscles. When you breathe deeply, you create movement inside the body, allowing these blockages to loosen and flow out. This is why sometimes a deep breath brings tears. The body is releasing pain carried silently for years. Letting go through breath is a daily practice, not a one-time event. Some days the breath feels easy. Other days it feels tight or shaky. But every breath is progress. Every slow inhale is a step toward clarity. Every long exhale is a step away from suffering. Healing doesn't always require big external changes. Sometimes all it requires is the courage to sit with yourself and breathe. Over time, this practice becomes your safe place. Whenever life feels overwhelming, you can close your eyes and return to your breath. Whenever your mind feels loud, you can quiet it by breathing intentionally. Whenever emotions rise too quickly, your breath can anchor you. It becomes the gentle reminder that no matter what's happening outside, you can always find peace inside. This is why in Buddhist practice, the breath is called the doorway to freedom. It teaches you that letting go isn't an event. It's a moment-by-moment choice to return to yourself, to calm your mind, and to release what your thoughts cannot carry anymore. The sixth way of being we'll explore, practicing non-resistance. One of the greatest causes of suffering is the silent, constant, exhausting fight we have with life itself. Often, it's not the situation that hurts us, it's our resistance to what's happening. It's the way we argue with reality inside our own mind. We tell ourselves, this shouldn't have happened. They shouldn't have treated me this way. Life should have been different. Why is this happening now? With every internal fight, we create more suffering. Non-resistance is the key to emotional freedom. Not because life becomes easier, but because you stop fighting battles that only exist in your mind. Non-resistance doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean you accept disrespect or tolerate injustice. It doesn't mean becoming passive or helpless. It means you stop wasting emotional energy trying to force life to follow your script. It means recognizing the world won't always move according to your timeline, desires, or expectations. It means you stop breaking your own here. Non-resistance teaches you to let life move without trying to hold it down. It teaches you to flow with change instead of fighting it. Think about water. Water doesn't argue with rocks in its path. It doesn't complain when its direction shifts. It doesn't resist obstacles. It simply flows around them calmly, naturally. And yet, water shapes mountains, carves valleys, creates rivers, and sustains life. That's the power of non-resistance, gentle, peaceful, flexible, but unbelievably strong. When you adopt this mindset, you stop feeling crushed by every challenge. You learn to move with life instead of exhausting yourself by pushing against it. Most people don't realize how much stress comes from resisting emotions. When sadness appears, they push it away. When fear arises, they try to bury it. When anger surfaces, they pretend it doesn't exist. But emotions are like visitors. The more you resist them, the longer they stay. Non-resistance teaches you to allow emotions to flow through you without attaching stories, judgments, or shame. If sadness comes, you say, "I feel sad right now," and allow it. If fear comes, you say, "This fear is here," and observe it. If anger comes, you breathe and let the fire pass. When you stop fighting your emotions, they soften, they move, they heal. Life becomes painful when we insist things must be a certain way. This relationship must work. This plan must succeed. This person must behave differently. These musts create emotional prisons. They trap you inside expectations life never promised to meet. When you practice non-resistance, you replace must with maybe. And suddenly, the world opens again. Maybe this ending is redirecting me. Maybe this difficulty is strengthening me. Maybe this disappointment is protection. Maybe this isn't the end, but the beginning of something I can't see yet. With non-resistance, your mind becomes spacious. Your heart softens. Your spirit becomes wiser. Non-resistance is also about not forcing people. You cannot force someone to love you, to change, to respect you. When you stop trying to control others, you free both them and yourself. You allow relationships to be natural instead of stressful. You stop dragging connections that have ended energetically. You stop expecting people to give what they've never learned to give. You stop breaking yourself trying to fix what isn't your responsibility. This inner freedom is life-changing. Resistance creates tension in the body, tightening the jaw, stiffening the neck, knotting shoulders, weighing down the chest. Non-resistance brings relaxation. Your body finds ease. Your breath deepens. Your mind clears. You begin to notice that much of your suffering had nothing to do with the situation. It came from the mental pressure of trying to control something uncontrollable. When that pressure releases, your entire inner world begins to change. Non-resistance also teaches you to trust timing. People often panic when things don't happen instantly. They feel anxious waiting, restless when uncertain, desperate when progress seems slow. Resistance to timing creates fear and frustration. But when you stop fighting the pace of life, you begin to understand, delays aren't punishments. Silence isn't abandonment. Obstacles aren't failures. Sometimes life slows down because you're being protected. Sometimes a door closes because a better one needs preparation. Sometimes nothing is happening because you are being prepared. Non-resistance helps you stop forcing outcomes and start trusting the journey. Another part of non-resistance is accepting truth without sugarcoating. Many suffer because they refuse to call a situation what it really is. They hold on to a relationship that died long ago. They try to fix friendships that no longer exist in spirit. They stay in jobs they hate. They replay past mistakes they can't undo. They live in memories instead of the present. Non-resistance teaches you to see clearly, this is how it is right now. Not how it used to be. Not how you wish it were. Not how someone promised it would be, but how it is. This clarity saves years of emotional suffering. When you stop resisting reality, you stop creating extra pain on top of the natural pain of life. Natural pain is unavoidable: loss, disappointment, endings, change. But resistance adds unnecessary suffering, denial, anger, self-blame, fear, overthinking, expectations. Non-resistance removes that unnecessary layer. It doesn't erase challenges, but makes them easier to face because you're no longer fighting your own mind. As you practice non-resistance, you begin to live with more peace. You understand that not every fight deserves your energy. Not every situation requires control. Not every emotion needs suppression. Not every plan needs force. You learn to respond calmly instead of reacting impulsively. You learn to step back instead of pushing forward mindlessly. You learn to slow down instead of panicking. Life becomes softer when you stop wrestling with it. The beauty of non-resistance is that it gives you back your power. Instead of being dragged by life, you move with intention. Instead of drowning in emotions, you surf them gently. Instead of breaking under pressure, you bend like bamboo. Instead of fighting the storm, you become the stillness inside it. Non-resistance doesn't make you weak, it makes you unshakable. Nothing can break a person who is not at war with life. When you flow with the present moment, even when it's difficult, you discover a deeper strength, a quieter courage, a wiser peace. This is the heart of non-resistance. You stop fighting life, and life stops fighting you. You flow, and in that flow, you find freedom. Our seventh protective practice: guarding your peace. In life, you'll meet many people, face many storms, walk through many environments. But the one thing that follows you everywhere is your inner state, your peace, your emotional space, your mental clarity, your spiritual energy. Most never realize how delicate, precious, and powerful this inner space truly is. They spend their lives giving everyone access to it, even people who drain them, disrespect them, or leave them anxious, confused, or empty. One of the highest forms of self-love is learning to protect your peace with the same seriousness you protect your physical safety. Because your peace is the foundation of your entire life. You cannot live calmly with a chaotic heart. You cannot grow spiritually when you allow toxic energies into your space. You cannot feel light and grounded if you keep giving access to people who disturb your balance. Protecting your peace doesn't mean isolating yourself. It means being wise about who deserves to enter your inner world. It means understanding that not everyone you care about is good for your mental health. It means learning to love people from a distance if they bring more pain than peace. It means choosing yourself. Not in a selfish way, but in a soulful way. Many believe choosing peace means avoiding problems or running away from life. The truth is the opposite. Protecting your peace requires deep courage. It requires honesty. It requires disappointing others to stay true to yourself. It requires walking away from relationships that drain your spirit, even if you still care about the person. It requires setting boundaries even when your voice shakes. It requires saying no without over-explaining. It requires letting people misunderstand you rather than letting them disturb your peace. This isn't weakness, it's emotional strength at its highest level. Think of your peace as a flame. If too many winds touch it, it will flicker and eventually die out. That's what happens to people who give access to everyone. They become emotionally exhausted, spiritually drained, mentally scattered, physically tired. Their minds race, hearts ache, days feel heavy, nights feel restless. Deep inside, they know why, because they keep letting people, situations, and responsibilities enter their life without asking, does this nourish my peace or destroy it? Protecting your peace means becoming the guardian of your inner flame, refusing to let random winds blow it out. The truth is, not everyone deserves access to your heart. Not everyone deserves to know your dreams, insecurities, fears, or pain. Not everyone deserves to be part of your healing journey. Some people only want to take, they take your energy, attention, kindness, patience, and in return give stress, confusion, guilt, or emptiness. Every soul carries its own energy. When someone's energy clashes with yours, it creates turbulence inside you. Protecting your peace means choosing environments, relationships, habits, and conversations that feed your spirit, not drain it. Many harm their own peace by trying to please others. They say yes when they feel no. They carry responsibilities that were never theirs. They tolerate behaviors that slowly break their spirit. They allow disrespect because they fear being alone. They apologize for things that weren't their fault. They keep people in their life because their heart is soft, even when those people have shown they can't be trusted with your emotional safety. But the moment you begin protecting your peace, you stop seeking approval from others. You stop allowing guilt to control your decisions. You stop sacrificing your emotional well-being just to keep someone else comfortable. You begin to honor yourself. Protecting your peace also means becoming comfortable with solitude. Many cling to chaotic relationships simply because they fear being alone. But solitude isn't emptiness. Solitude is clarity. It's where you hear your own thoughts instead of absorbing everyone else's noise. It's where your spirit breathes, heals, and reconnects with its own truth. In Buddhist teaching, solitude isn't loneliness, it's a sanctuary where you realign your energy, strengthen your mind, and rebuild your sense of self. When you learn to enjoy your own company, you stop letting just anyone into your life because you understand the value of your inner space. Boundaries are another essential part of protecting your peace. A boundary isn't a wall to keep people out, it's a gate you open selectively. Boundaries are a form of self-respect. They tell the world, I value my peace, my time, my energy. Without boundaries, people will take advantage of your kindness, drain your compassion, and use your emotional softness for their own benefit. Setting boundaries doesn't make you rude, it makes you wise, strong, balanced. It teaches others how to treat you and teaches you what you'll no longer accept. Protecting your peace also requires emotional detachment from unnecessary drama. You don't have to respond to everything. You don't have to involve yourself in every conflict. You don't have to prove your point to people committed to misunderstanding you. You don't have to fix every situation or heal every person. Sometimes silence protects you better than words. Distance heals you faster than confrontation. Walking away gives you more clarity than staying and fighting. Peace grows when you stop reacting to every little thing that tries to pull you into chaos. Another overlooked form of resistance is resisting the version of yourself that life is asking you to become. You cannot protect your peace if you remain attached to an older version of yourself, the version that accepted disrespect, apologized too much, tolerated toxic energy, avoided boundaries. Protecting your peace means evolving. It means upgrading your mindset. It means becoming someone who refuses to return to emotional spaces that once hurt you. You stop going back to what broke you because you love yourself too much now to repeat old cycles. Peace requires selective energy. It requires choosing who you allow near your inner life. It requires recognizing when someone's presence starts costing you your mental well-being. Some people bring warmth, clarity, inspiration, healing, comfort. Others bring confusion, jealousy, gossip, tension, emotional heaviness. One of the highest forms of wisdom is understanding which is which. And one of the highest forms of self-love is acting accordingly, even if it hurts, disappoints someone, or feels unfamiliar. Protecting your peace also means stopping the habit of overthinking others' opinions. The truth is, most people don't even know themselves deeply, so their judgments about you mean nothing. When you stop giving weight to others' opinions, you stop carrying unnecessary emotional baggage. You stop living for validation and start living for authenticity. You stop draining energy trying to fit an image that isn't yours. You begin feeling lighter, freer, more aligned with your true self. At its core, protecting your peace means choosing the life your soul feels safe in. It means choosing supportive, not draining, relationships. It means choosing grounding, not chaotic, environments. It means choosing routines that nourish your inner world, not destroy it. It's an act of self-respect, self-awareness, and emotional maturity. When your peace becomes your priority, everything changes: your decisions, relationships, reactions, boundaries, energy, your entire emotional landscape. Here's the deepest truth: the moment you choose peace, your whole life begins to shift. People not aligned with your peace will fall away. Situations that once drained you lose their power. Your clarity sharpens. Your energy rises. Your emotional world stabilizes. You stop feeling guilty for choosing yourself. Your heart feels lighter. Your mind feels quieter. Your spirit feels stronger. You realize peace wasn't something you needed to find, it was something you needed to protect. This is the seventh habit: guard your peace like it's sacred, because it is. And once you protect it, everything else finally begins to fall into place. The eighth returning point: coming back to the present moment. If there's one thing that quietly steals your happiness more than anything else, it's the mind's habit of leaving the present moment. Your mind spends most of its time in two places that don't exist anymore, the past and the future. The past holds regrets, heartbreaks, mistakes, betrayals, losses, memories you revisit again and again, even though they can't be changed. The future holds fears, anxieties, expectations, what-ifs, worst-case scenarios that exhaust you before they even happen. This constant mental traveling pulls you away from the only place where peace, strength, and clarity actually exist, the present moment. Suffering begins when the mind wanders away from what is and starts obsessing over what was or what might be. The present moment is simple, quiet, peaceful. But the mind prefers drama, stories, illusions. It loves to replay conversations from years ago, imagine outcomes that'll never happen, overanalyze others' behavior, create problems that don't exist. This isn't because the mind is evil, it's wired to protect you. But in its attempt to protect, it often creates new suffering. Returning to the present moment is the habit of gently pulling yourself away from these mental storms and coming back home to what is real, what's happening now, what's within your control. When you return to the present moment, you break the mental loop that exhausts you. You stop feeding stories that drain your energy. You stop giving attention to worries with nothing to do with reality. You stop fighting shadows. You stop bleeding from wounds that no longer exist. You notice your breath. You feel your body. You observe your surroundings. You realize that at this very moment, you are safe. Right now, there's no danger. Right now, there's no enemy. Right now, life isn't attacking you, only your thoughts are. The mind creates storms the present moment doesn't contain. The mind loves to drag you into the past because the past is familiar. Even painful memories can feel comfortable because you know them. But living in the past keeps you stuck in emotional cycles that no longer serve you. You cannot heal if you keep revisiting the wound. You cannot grow if you cling to an older version of yourself. You cannot move forward if you keep trying to rewrite history in your head. The past is a teacher, not a home. When you return to the present moment, you gently tell yourself, what happened is over. I can't change it, but I can change what I do right now. This simple realization frees you from years of emotional suffering. The future is another trap. The mind imagines every possible disaster, failure, way things could go wrong. It tells stories with no evidence, no grounding in reality. It creates anxiety by making you believe you must be prepared for every outcome. But thinking about the future doesn't give you control, it steals your peace. It makes you forget that the future is shaped by what you do now, not by the fear you hold about what might happen. The future becomes lighter when you stop trying to live it in your mind. It becomes clearer when you take it one moment at a time. Returning to the present moment doesn't mean ignoring your past or being careless about your future. It means not letting either control your emotional state. It means recognizing that the only place you have real power is right here, right now. You can't change yesterday. You can't control tomorrow. But you can control your breath, your thoughts, your responses, your attitude, how you show up today. This is where healing begins, not in the past, not in the future, but in this moment. One of the most powerful ways to return is through mindfulness. Mindfulness isn't a complicated spiritual technique, it's simply the art of paying attention. When you drink water, you taste it instead of rushing. When you breathe, you feel the air entering and leaving your body. When you walk, you notice each step instead of drowning in thoughts. When you talk, you listen fully instead of preparing your next reply. When you rest, you allow yourself to rest instead of worrying about what comes next. Mindfulness turns ordinary moments into peaceful experiences. When the mind wanders, and it will, you gently bring it back. You don't get angry. You don't criticize yourself. You don't demand perfection. You simply notice, my mind wandered. And return to your breath, your body, the present moment. This gentle returning builds emotional strength. It teaches your mind that it doesn't need to run, predict everything, protect you from imaginary threats. It can simply be here, now. Coming back to the present moment also allows you to feel life again. Many don't realize they're not truly living. They're breathing but not alive. They're moving but not present. They're thinking but not experiencing. They rush through life like trying to win a race. They scroll through days without noticing the sunrise, the breeze, birdsong, kindness of strangers, beauty in small things. When you slow down and return to the present moment, life becomes richer. Colors look brighter. Conversations feel meaningful. Food tastes better. Your body relaxes. Your mind softens. You reconnect with the world around you instead of getting lost in the world inside your head. Returning to the present moment is also a powerful way to break the cycle of emotional overthinking. When you feel overwhelmed, anxious, scattered, it's almost always because your mind is too far from the present, stuck in a memory or worried about a future possibility. But the moment you anchor yourself in the now, the intensity of your emotions decreases. Anxiety loosens its grip. Fear becomes smaller. Stress loses power. You realize most suffering was created by thoughts, not reality. And thoughts aren't facts, they're temporary mental events passing through the mind. Buddhist teaching says the present moment is your true home. It's where your inner peace lives. Where your clarity waits. Where your healing begins. Where your strength grows. When you practice returning to the now, you train your mind to stop running, resisting, exaggerating, worrying, and simply be. This being is the essence of peace, freedom, life. There's a deep truth hidden here. The present moment is never as painful as your thoughts about it. The present moment is almost always manageable. It's the mind that multiplies suffering. When you stay here, you stay calm. When you stay here, you stay grounded. When you stay here, you stay alive. Returning to the present moment isn't a one-time realization, it's a lifelong practice. You'll forget. Your mind will wander. Old habits will return. But every time you catch yourself drifting and gently return to your breath, you build inner peace like a muscle. Your mind becomes a friend instead of an enemy. Your emotions become waves instead of storms. Your life becomes lighter, softer, more beautiful. The world becomes different when you're present. Not because the world changed, but because you changed how you meet it. You meet life fully instead of half asleep. You meet love deeply instead of fearfully. You meet challenges calmly instead of desperately. You meet yourself honestly instead of through illusions. This is enlightenment in its simplest form, a quiet mind resting in the present moment. Protecting your peace means returning to this moment again and again until it becomes your natural home. Because right here, right now, everything is okay. Right here, right now, you are alive. Right here, right now, you are safe. And right here, right now, you have the power to begin again. The ninth freeing practice, freeing yourself from the need for approval. One of the deepest forms of suffering in human life comes from the constant, silent, exhausting desire to be liked, accepted, validated by others. From childhood, you learn to measure your worth through others' reactions, parents, teachers, friends, society, relatives, later strangers, partners, co-workers. You're taught to be good, polite, behave, fit in, not upset anyone, be what others want you to be. Without realizing it, you shape your personality around what will please others rather than what's true to your soul. One of the greatest acts of self-love is learning to release this need for approval, because there's no freedom deeper than living life on your own inner terms. The truth is, no matter how kind you are, someone will misunderstand you. No matter how humble, someone will judge you. No matter how honest, someone will doubt you. No matter how loving, someone will take you for granted. No matter how hard you try to be perfect, someone will still find a reason to criticize you. This isn't because you're flawed, it's because every person sees the world through the filter of their own experiences, insecurities, traumas, expectations, beliefs. Their opinion of you isn't a mirror, it's a reflection of their inner world. Once you understand this truth deeply, you stop trying to control how others see you. Seeking approval is a form of emotional imprisonment. You adjust behavior to avoid conflict even if it hurts you. You silence your truth to maintain harmony. You over-explain because you fear being judged. You feel guilty for choosing your own needs. You apologize for things not your fault. You accept treatment that damages your peace because you don't want to seem difficult or dramatic. Every time you betray yourself to win someone else's approval, you lose a part of your inner freedom. Slowly, you become a version of yourself that feels disconnected, drained, unsure of who you truly are. Releasing the need for approval doesn't mean becoming rude or uncaring. It doesn't mean living without compassion. It means understanding that your worth isn't determined by how people react to you. You stop basing your value on how many people praise you, agree with you, validate you. You begin to stand in your truth without asking permission. You learn that self-respect isn't negotiable. You learn that inner peace matters more than external validation. You learn that people's opinions change constantly, but your soul stays with you forever. The fear of being disliked often comes from childhood wounds. Maybe you were punished for expressing feelings. Maybe you were told to be quiet. Maybe you had to earn love by being good. Maybe you felt ignored unless you performed well. These early experiences shape adult behaviors. You grow up believing love must be earned, acceptance is fragile, your worth depends on pleasing others. Healing begins when you recognize these patterns and gently release them. You begin to understand that you don't need anyone's approval to exist peacefully. When you stop chasing approval, something profound happens. Your authenticity returns. You begin to speak honestly without fear. You stop pretending to be strong when you're hurting. You stop hiding emotions. You stop lowering standards. You stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You stop chasing people who no longer value you. You stop explaining your worth. You begin choosing relationships that feel equal and healthy instead of draining and one-sided. You learn the right people will accept you without needing to be convinced. People constantly seeking approval often feel anxious because they're always calculating how others might perceive them. They overthink every word, gesture, decision. They fear making mistakes, disappointing others. But when you let go of this need, anxiety decreases dramatically. You breathe more freely. You walk more confidently. You make decisions based on truth instead of fear. You realize the right people will stay, the wrong will leave, and neither outcome changes your worth. Releasing approval also means accepting you can't control others' judgments. People will judge you whether you're silent or outspoken, generous or distant, soft or strong. They'll judge your choices, lifestyle, beliefs, past, appearance, personality, even your healing journey. But their judgment belongs to them, not to you. When you internalize this, you stop giving away your peace so easily. You stop letting comments break you. You stop letting opinions define you. Your emotional world becomes calmer because you stop fighting battles that were never yours to fight. Suffering begins when we cling. When you cling to approval, your happiness depends on something outside your control. But when you let go, your happiness returns to you. You become the master of your own peace. You choose who you want to be without outside pressure. You become grounded in your own identity. You stop needing applause to feel good about yourself. You stop needing reassurance to trust decisions. You stop needing permission to follow your path. Letting go of approval also transforms relationships. Instead of forcing yourself to be liked, you allow connections to form naturally. You stop pretending, performing, begging for attention, bending boundaries, chasing people who drain you. You stop fearing rejection because you realize rejection is simply redirection. You begin attracting people who resonate with your truth, not your mask. These relationships feel healthier, calmer, deeper, more meaningful. Built on authenticity instead of fear. This habit also teaches you to honor boundaries without guilt. When you stop seeking approval, you start prioritizing emotional well-being. You say no when something doesn't feel right. You walk away when you feel drained. You express needs openly. You stop tolerating disrespect. You distance yourself from chaos. You choose peace over pleasing, honesty over fitting in, self-respect over comfort. This is how you reclaim your power. The greatest freedom in life isn't financial, physical, or social freedom, it's emotional freedom. And emotional freedom begins the moment you stop basing self-worth on others' opinions. When you release the need for approval, confidence grows naturally. Your inner voice strengthens. Intuition becomes clearer. Decisions become bolder. The mind becomes quieter. You stop living for the world and start living for your soul. Here's the deepest truth of all. People's opinions about you say everything about them, and nothing about you. Their insecurities, wounds, perspective, fears, expectations, projections, none of it defines you. None of it belongs to you. None of it determines your path. When you release the need for approval, you reclaim your peace, your identity, your emotional space, your voice, your life. You become someone who moves with confidence, softness, clarity, truth. You realize you were never supposed to please everyone. You were only supposed to become yourself. This is the 9th habit. Free yourself from the prison of opinions so you can walk through life with an open heart, an unshakable mind, and a peace that cannot be taken away by anybody. And our 10th and final healing habit, forgiving yourself fully. There's a kind of suffering deeper than heartbreak, heavier than disappointment, more silent than loneliness. It's the suffering you carry inside when you refuse to forgive yourself. Most people forgive others easily, sometimes too easily, but remain brutally hard on themselves. They carry guilt from years ago, shame from mistakes made when they didn't know better, self-blame for outcomes they couldn't control, regret for words said in moments of pain, disappointment for not being the person they think they should have been. They walk through life holding an invisible weight on their shoulders. A weight called self-inflicted suffering, caused not by the world, but by your own refusal to let yourself be human. Forgiving yourself is one of the hardest forms of forgiveness. Not because you're unworthy, but because your mind clings to the past. The mind replays old memories repeatedly, convinces you that you should have known better, shouldn't have trusted, should have walked away sooner, should have been stronger, wiser. These shoulds become emotional chains. They trap you in moments already over. They force you to relive mistakes that can't be changed. They prevent healing, create inner conflict, make you treat yourself like an enemy instead of a friend. But you cannot change the past, you can change the relationship you have with it. Your past isn't a life sentence. It's a lesson. Your mistakes aren't your identity, they're experiences that help shape you. Every wound taught you something. Every wrong turn redirected you. Every failure humbled you. Every loss opened your eyes. Every disappointment taught you what you needed to protect your future self. When you refuse to forgive yourself, you reject the wisdom hidden inside those experiences. When you forgive yourself, you finally begin to see the meaning behind everything you once called mistakes. Self-forgiveness requires deep honesty. It requires looking at yourself without judgment. It requires admitting where you were wrong. Not to punish yourself, but to liberate yourself. It requires acknowledging pain without becoming consumed by it. It requires accepting that you were doing the best you could with the awareness, emotional capacity, understanding you had at the time. It requires compassion, real compassion, not the soft kind you give others, but the courageous kind you give yourself when your mind attacks you most. Most people don't forgive themselves because they think forgiveness means letting themselves off the hook. They believe if they forgive themselves, their mistake becomes okay. But that's not true. Forgiveness doesn't erase responsibility, it ends unnecessary suffering. It doesn't rewrite what happened, it rewrites how you carry it. It doesn't mean you forget, it means you learn, grow, move forward without dragging the weight of your past into your present. You cannot become your future self if you're chained to your past self. You cannot evolve if you cling to guilt. You cannot rise if you keep punishing yourself. You cannot find peace if you keep blaming yourself for things that shaped you but no longer define you. Self-forgiveness isn't about pretending nothing happened. It's about understanding that your pain was part of your path. Not a detour, not a failure, but a necessary chapter that taught you something precious about life, love, boundaries, trust, strength, truth. Forgiving yourself also means forgiving the version of you who tolerated things you shouldn't have tolerated. The version who stayed in situations too long. Who didn't know how to speak up. Who accepted less than deserved. Who kept trying to fix people who weren't ready to be helped. Who didn't understand your worth. You don't need to hate that version. You need to embrace them, thank them, heal them, let them rest. They were doing their best with the level of awareness and strength they had at that moment. Guilt and shame often come from not being able to let go of the image you created of who you should be. You believed you should have always been wise, strong, calm, confident, perfect. But you're human. You learned through mistakes. You grew through pain. You evolved through trials. You became who you are because of everything you've lived through. Your past self didn't fail you, they brought you to this moment, where you're finally aware enough to heal. Self-forgiveness requires gentleness, patience, letting yourself unravel without punishment, sitting with your past without drowning in it. When you hold your hand to your heart, breathe deeply, and whisper, "I forgive you," you begin releasing a weight carried for years, maybe your whole life. When you forgive yourself, you unclench the tightness in your chest. You soften the heaviness in your spirit. You begin to breathe like someone who deserves peace again, because you do. True forgiveness recognizes that everything is impermanent. Your past is impermanent. Your mistakes are impermanent. Your guilt is impermanent. You don't have to carry these things forever. Your heart wasn't built to hold this much pain. Your spirit wasn't designed to be weighed down by old stories. You deserve to move freely into the future. But you can only do that when you remove the emotional chains around your heart. Forgiving yourself also means valuing your growth more than your guilt. It means acknowledging how far you've come instead of punishing yourself for where you've been. It means celebrating that you survived things that broke you. It means appreciating that you're healing even when the process feels slow. It means honoring the resilience inside you that your mistakes helped build. It means understanding self-forgiveness isn't the end of healing, it's the beginning. The greatest tragedy of self-blame is that it keeps you stuck in a moment that no longer exists. It keeps you tied to a version of yourself you've already outgrown. It keeps you living inside a wound that's already taught its lesson. Self-forgiveness is the act of unlocking that prison. It's the moment you decide, I deserve to move forward. It's the moment you take your power back from the past. It's the moment you choose to live instead of merely surviving. Here's the deepest truth you must understand: your heart has punished itself enough. It's time to release yourself. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean forgetting. It means remembering with wisdom instead of pain. It means carrying knowledge instead of guilt. It means keeping the lesson and letting go of suffering. It means loving yourself even when you feel unlovable. It means giving yourself the kindness you've always given others. It means finally allowing yourself to be human, fully, imperfectly, beautifully human. When you forgive yourself, everything changes. Your mind quiets. Emotions lighten. Relationships become healthier. Decisions become clearer. Confidence strengthens. Inner peace becomes real. You begin showing up in the world with softness instead of self-criticism, courage instead of shame, strength instead of regret. Self-forgiveness isn't weakness. It's a return to your true self. It's a return to your innocence, your worth, your inner peace. And it's the greatest gift you can ever give to your own soul. As you reach the end of this journey, pause for a moment and breathe. Not a shallow breath, but a deep, slow, gentle breath that reminds you you're alive, you're here, you're present. Let your shoulders loosen. Let your mind quiet. Let your heart soften. You've traveled through lessons of awareness, self-kindness, letting go, acceptance, breath, non-resistance, peace, presence, freedom from approval, and self-forgiveness. These aren't just teachings, they're doorways. Doorways back to yourself. You've carried so much for so long. You've held pain you never deserved. You've forgiven people who never apologized. You've stayed strong for others while breaking inside. You've woken up on days your spirit felt heavy. You've kept going when everything inside wanted to stop. And through it all, you forgot something important. You forgot to be gentle with yourself. You forgot to pause. You forgot to breathe. You forgot that you too deserve the love you constantly give everyone else. These habits aren't meant to transform your life in one day. They're meant to slowly reshape how you walk through the world. They help you soften reactions, calm your mind, reconnect with the quiet strength already inside you. The peace you're searching for has never been outside. It was never in people, outcomes, achievements, perfection. It was always inside you, buried beneath overthinking, tension, fear, expectations, noise, emotional fatigue. The more you let go of what harms you, the more clearly your inner peace rises to the surface. If there's one truth you take today, let it be this: you don't need to be perfect to be at peace. You don't need to control everything. You don't need to fix everyone. You don't need all the answers. You don't need to force your life into a straight line. You only need to return to yourself again and again and again. Return to your breath. Return to awareness. Return to your heart. Return to this moment, because this moment is the only place where peace lives. You are learning to love yourself. You're learning to let go of weight you no longer need to carry. You're learning to protect your energy without guilt. You're learning to forgive your past self and honor your present self. You're learning to trust the timing of your life. You're learning to stop absorbing everyone else's storms. You're learning to free yourself from opinions that once controlled you. You're learning to become your own safe space. Healing isn't loud. It's quiet. It happens in small moments when you choose to breathe instead of react, walk away instead of fight, rest instead of push, release instead of cling. These small choices shape your emotional world more than any dramatic breakthrough ever could. So as you walk forward, carry these truths gently, like seeds. Plant them in daily life, not with force, but with softness. Practice them when your mind grows loud, when your heart feels heavy, when life becomes confusing, when you feel lost. Over time, these seeds will grow into something powerful, a deep, unshakable peace no one can take from you. Remember, you deserve peace. You deserve clarity. You deserve softness. You deserve rest. You deserve happiness. You deserve forgiveness. You deserve the freedom that comes from letting go. Above all, you deserve a life where your heart feels light and your mind feels quiet. May you walk gently. May you walk wisely. May you walk in peace. Welcome to Monk's Temple.